Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Oh, yeah? You sure you want to know? The game is afoot.
Do you still have a foot? Greetings from Fairfield. We are Richard and Kendra, and we are restoring this cool old Victorian house. We found this old Queen Anne for sale on the internet and decided to buy it. So we moved from the West Coast to the cornfields of Iowa. So join us as we explore and restore this 1896 Victorian mansion.
Good morning. Greetings from Fairfield. Welcome back to our cool Victorian house. I'm atop of the porte-cochère today, fixing to start a new unexpected project. But before we get into that, Kendra on our last week's video had mentioned what this area was used for, and so I thought we'd take a little trip down memory lane and give you a little backstory and history of what this area actually was.
And then there's a door that just leads out. You want to see where it goes? Well, let's go. The balcony, outside space, whatever you want to call it. This is the top of the porte-cochère. We have a lot of information when it comes to this space. If you guys would like to guess what this space is, we actually know what it is. But if you want to do a guess, you can always put it in the comments. We'd love to hear what your ideas for this Victorian specific area was.
All right, so for those that guessed a widow's walk for this area, you're actually partially correct, as we got this photograph from previous owners that removed the railing in the mid-2000s because it was getting old and unsafe. The widow's walk tends to be more of coastal houses, more Italianate style versus, say, the Queen Anne. This house actually had something before that, and the case just got a lot bigger when we were presented this photograph shortly after we moved in. So we dated this photograph to about 1901 based on the baby and the family that lived next door at the time. So that would be 1901, and there's, with all the extra trees and stuff that we see today, we can't even duplicate that shot. And the quality of the photo was just Xerox. That's all we got. So the quality isn't great. We could see that there was something up there, but kind of hard to see exactly what the construction was and you know, more importantly, what it actually was. But there was something about it that did look a little familiar. So up here in the dirty old carriage house again, you might remember these doors, the painted doors, painted pocket doors, and we got some old storm windows over here. You want to see something cool though?
Mm-hmm.
Do a little discovery. Every time I come out here, I find something new. So besides these dirty old windows, we now have another clue to, these are some old, these have been out here a long time. These are probably for the third floor. I don't know how you would have gotten up there to, that's the outside. Oh no, this is the outside. So that's the outside. I wonder what those latch to, because it doesn't quite. There must have been something else. I'll have to check those windows up on that third floor and see if there's like holes or something for a latch. But anyway, check these out. Does that look familiar? You know what that is?
No, I don't.
It's an old window. Hinges are still on it. The pins are huge. That's a little. Oh wait, I bet you this pin was jammed in there and it goes down to that one. Anyway, still got the glass in it.
Part of it.
So that would have been the outside. And there's an old, what do you call it, little hook latches, right? So you would have opened it up. Don't know what that is? Doesn't look familiar? No? I think I know what it is.
Tell me, tell me, tell me.
Oh yeah? You sure you want to know? The game is afoot. How about now? You know what it is now?
Yes, I know what it is.
Do you? All right, so the window. These they were hinged. Got a little hook latch here, so you would have been able to latch them and open them. But we still don't know what the space was. I mean, could have been a sleeping porch, as was also mentioned. But when I was going through the newspaper archives, I found an entry for the open house when it was first opened to the public in March of 1897. That blew this case wide open.
From the Fairfield Tribune, March 3, 1897, at the new home of Mr. James A. Beck. Mrs. Etta and Lulu Stauffer gave a large party on Tuesday evening at the home of their uncle, Mr. James Beck, of this city. It was practically the house warming, as this elegant home has only recently been completed and furnished, and this is the first large company given since. A large number of the young married people, and a sprinkling of those of maturer age, comprised the company entertained. The beautiful home was brilliantly illuminated with electricity and tastefully decorated with cut flowers and palms, ferns, and other potted plants. The third floor was given up to dancing, which continued during the evening, greatly enjoyed by the young people, the home orchestra furnishing delightful music from an alcove adjoining. During the latter part of the evening, dainty refreshments were served in the dining room and back parlor. In the reception hall, a neatly costumed maid dispensed frappé. The guests wandered at will over the 3 floors, enjoying the beauties everywhere, for this house, beautiful in plan and construction, is a delight to the eye, and is furnished with exquisite taste and very elegantly throughout. The conservatory, on the 2nd floor, just over the porte-cochère, large, filled with choice plants and lighted by electricity, is a most beautiful feature of the house and attracted many admirers.
Well, there you have it. The case of the missing conservatory. This was a conservatory, not a music conservatory, but a plant conservatory, a greenhouse out on top of the porte-cochère. But when did it go missing? We have a date range, 1912 to 1940, leaning towards the 1940s. We also have another element that also goes missing from the house that would also play into the idea that it would go missing in the 1940s, and that's our roof cresting. We don't have any photographs of the house between those times, which is why the date range is so big. But in 1912, Mr. Beck paints the house before he sells it in 1913. This color would not have been out of place with the second color, which was a sage green. This only has 1 coat of paint, so it could have come down at that point before he painted the house, or they just didn't repaint these windows. But by 1940, the conservatory would have been going on almost 50 years old. That, coupled with the roof cresting that goes missing, and that this house was a designated drop for collecting scrap metal for the war effort, would kind of suggest that perhaps repairs or fixes to the conservatory, that's when it goes missing. So do your part. One of the other things that we know about this space is that it had a radiator, and we actually still have active radiator pipes that go up to the wall that would lead out to this area that have just simply been capped off. So what's the plan? The house has gone longer without the conservatory than it actually had it. The Widow's Walk was here longer than the conservatory was, and the conservatory would add a lot of extra weight, not to mention cost, to restore it. The Widow's Walk itself is not the right style for the house either. It is not on the Barber plan. There are no Barber plans that I've seen that even have a conservatory. He references the conservatory in some of his plans for other houses, but it's generally a room downstairs that's offset of one of the other rooms. So like an addition to the parlor, or, you know, off the back kitchen or something, instead of like a porch. So there's that. But I mean, if we were to come across original Barber plans that had the conservatory, then, you know, it might be something to reconsider. But we actually came up with a more period appropriate approach on what to do with this space, at least in the meantime. So what's next? Well, the conservatory has been missing a lot longer than it was actually here at the house. And as cool as it would be to have a conservatory, because, well, not everybody can say, I have a conservatory. I'm not sure the Widow's Walk makes sense because it doesn't really match the style of the house, but we do have another solution, and that is original 1890s roof cresting that was listed on Marketplace as Widow's Walk. Unfortunately, there wasn't a picture of the house that it was torn down from, but it was from the 1890s. And so that is another project. How cool will that look? Eh? Pretty awesome. Before I can start this, we have something else that needs to be addressed from all that rain we got that needs to be done before winter comes, and that is the columns that hold up the porte-cochère. But we got ready to start stripping paint on those and made kind of a neat discovery. Check this out. It cleaned up really nice. Can you see the color? Look at that. The columns used to be inverted. They were painted this burgundy color, and this, the base, and this little, I don't know what you call that. That was white.
Ring.
So the little ring, that was white. This is burgundy. And since I'm stripping these off, we'll redo these. We'll repaint them back to their original color. But that's the original house color. All right, so weather's looking great this week, so we're gonna start stripping these columns and getting them ready and painted before winter comes. So until next time.